Hello, 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 and welcome to the Veg Inspired Tuesday Live. So you're here because you want to learn how to accelerate your plant-based lifestyle going into 2023, and I've got you covered. So grab your pen and paper and let's get into this. We are so excited that you are here and that you chose to tune in today for the Veg Inspired live show. So let me know who is tuning in live. Who's here? Are you on vacation this week between the two holidays? Are you at work right now? Let me know who's tuning in. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Every Tuesday at noon Eastern, I share top tips to help you make plant-based living your way of life. And I am thrilled that you're here joining me today. So let me know where you're tuning in from. I am tuning in from sunny Central Florida over here near Daytona Beach. And as a quick background, I'm a real person. I travel full-time in a fifth wheel RV with my husband, John, and Eddie the cat, who is right here on cue, coming up here to say hello to us. So don't be surprised if that happens or if he hangs out here or causes more disruption because he thinks I'm talking to him. And I've been eating and creating vegan meals for more than 8 years. Now, before I get into that, I just want to remind you who I am and introduce myself. I'm your host. My name is Kathy Davis. I'm a former school teacher turned plant-based lifestyle and mindset coach. I'm the founder of VegInspired and the Eat More Plants Academy, and I'm a 3-time cookbook author. And I recently released a chapter all about using vision to achieve your goals in the new book, Absolute Vision. So if you are interested in learning more about that, you can type vision into the chat and I will follow up with you. I help people adopt the habits of plant-based living so they can lose weight, gain energy, and achieve their wellness goals. And I personally made the shift for my daily habits toward following a whole food plant-based way of eating about 3 years ago, actually right here. Look at, yes, we've got some team live. Linda, hello, hello. And from that shift in the way that I eat, I experienced tremendous results. Renewed energy, a newfound sense of joy, and I lost more than 40 pounds and I've been able to keep it off. And I'm dedicated to providing people with the resources to make a similar transformation. And so I'm thrilled that you're here. We are going to help you accelerate your plant-based way of eating. And I know that's why you're here. So give this video a thumbs up, drop a smile in the chat, and let's grab those notebooks. So today I'm going to share with you 7 tips for accelerating your plant-based lifestyle. Now, these tips are good for you if you're vegan looking to go more whole food plant-based. If you're eating the standard American diet and you're looking to eat more plants. So these tips are all about how to take the way you're eating to the next level. So, excuse me. I have a tickle in my throat. Tip number 1. The first tip that I want to share with you is something that a lot of people don't do. And unfortunately, it's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see with people trying to make this change is they don't make a commitment to it. They don't make a decision. They waffle back and forth. So what I want you to do, tip number 1, is to commit to your goal of plant-based eating. Then I want you to make the decision to do it. And I want you to make the decision to every day, meal by meal, bite by bite, to take action towards making it your way of life on purpose. You see, what happens a lot, and I hear a lot often from folks, that they're just dabbling, they're testing the waters, they're dipping their toe in. But when we dabble, we lack commitment. So your first step is to make the personal commitment to make the change to the way you eat. And remember, I've said this before in some of the live shows, nothing changes until something changes. And so my first tip in accelerating plant-based eating for you in 2023 is inviting you to make the decision to make a change to the way you eat. Because I find that for many people, when you waffle on that commitment, you waffle on the change. You waffle on the way that you eat. And so if you do need more help with this, feel free to send me a direct message and let's look at how this works for you. Let's explore what that looks like for you, what that commitment looks like. And as I said, for some of you watching, you're just looking to eat more plants. Are you committed to eating more plants in 2023? For some of you watching, maybe you want to go vegan, maybe you want to go whole food plant-based. Are you committed to that? Are you making a committed decision? Now, some of you might be like, oh, that's tough. I'm piecing out with tip number 1, but stay with me. I've got 6 more tips. Tip number 2, accelerating your plant-based lifestyle. That's what we're looking to do. So tip number 2 is to try a new fruit or vegetable or grain, right? Adding these foods in, trying something new is especially important with my philosophy, which is to eat more plants and crowd out the animal-based or processed foods on your plate. So maybe you can try cauliflower in place of chicken in a recipe, or maybe you can just simply add a new vegetable to it. Maybe you pick up a new fruit that you haven't had either in a while or a new fruit you've never had, and simply eat that as a snack. One of our favorite swaps is using farro in place of pasta. Now, we don't do that every time. We still eat pasta, but using farro is trying a new grain, trying something different, shaking it up a little bit. And farro has such a delightful texture, and it pairs perfectly with red sauce. When we first started eating this way 8 years ago, we always swapped in a cashew butter sauce from Dr. McDougall for our pasta and veggies. And so if you'd like that recipe, you can comment cashews, and I'll send you the recipe for that cashew butter, because it was so good. And it was an easy swap for butter in a lot of those dishes, pasta dishes, potato dishes, things like that. Tip number 3, focus on what you can control and give yourself grace as you make this change. Remember, if you've committed to making a change in 2023, understand that you are going to go through a transformation period. You are going to go through, trials and tribulations where you're going to be tested, where that commitment is going to be tested. And these changes are more challenging, right? It's not just about changing the action. It's about changing all of the habits that lead to those actions. So don't beat yourself up. These changes take time. Focus on what you can control. And as I said, once you've made that personal decision, that commitment to change what you eat, the change starts with you, and then you can take action toward your goal with every meal and every bite. Tip number 4, learn 1 to 2, but no more than 2 new recipes each week. Now, people often say, but you're a cookbook author. You want us testing all the recipes in your cookbooks. Actually, no. There is nothing more overwhelming than trying to make 4, 5, 6 new to you recipes, right? I am a cookbook author, and I find new recipes that I have to follow all these different steps and have all these new ingredients to be slightly overwhelming as well. So you need to weave new recipes into your meal plans. So harness the power of the easy and no recipe meals that you already know how to cook. Maybe it's pasta and veggies. Maybe it's baked potatoes, those simple ones. And then weave in 1 to 2 new to you recipes each week, but no more than 2, because it can get very overwhelming, right? Simplify. So learning those couple new recipes will help you add some variety, which keeps things interesting, which will help you accelerate your plant-based eating. And that's what you're here for. You want to accelerate the eating more plants and the plant-based eating as you move into 2023. So some of my favorite simple meals that I don't need a recipe for are throwing sweet potatoes, broccoli, and chickpeas on a sheet pan, roasting it, and then drizzling it with barbecue sauce. I don't need a recipe for that. That's an easy meal that I can make. Sometimes I eat it with steamed kale or a salad. Very simple, very easy. Boiled white potatoes with sauerkraut and mustard and a side salad. I don't need a recipe for that. That's very simple, very easy. Easy oat bowls with berries, just simple oats, plant milk, berries, a sweetener of your choice. Again, you don't need a full recipe. Yes, in the beginning, you might need to test some things to see how much you like, how much the texture you like, how much plant milk to the oats, but it can be simple. There are things you already know how to make. Rice with broccoli and soy sauce, pasta with red sauce and steamed vegetables, or a side salad. These are not things you need recipes for. But if I were to say, we're going to make a plant-based lasagna or a specific plant-based soup, I might want to follow a recipe. So I would only do a couple of those new to me ones each week, because that allows me to weave in some of those familiar ones that I know how to make, that I know I'm going to like, that I know will turn out, but also test some new to me meals as well. Tip number 5, don't overcomplicate your meals and snacks. This is so important. I'm going to repeat it. Don't overcomplicate your meals and snacks. Keep things simple. That doesn't mean that it has to be gross or flavorless. It means finding the herbs, the vinegars, the spices, the sauces, the textures, the vegetables, the fruits, the grains, the beans, all of those things that you eat that actually satisfy you. For me, one of the very simple salad dressings that I started eating 3 years ago as a daily habit was I would season my greens, my green salad, with seasoned rice vinegar. So I would dress the whole salad with seasoned rice vinegar. And then I would drizzle on just a little bit of tahini. Sometimes I would add an Italian seasoning, some other spices and herbs, but I never went overboard. I kept it very, very simple. I also love to add fresh pico de gallo. You can buy that at the grocery store, or you can make it, or fresh basil or cilantro to, tacos, to different dishes, to salads, to brighten up the flavor. Another very simple thing that I do is I will often turn a basic tofu or cashew mayo into other flavored mayos, maybe lime and cilantro, maybe adding garlic or roasted red pepper. So I take the base recipe and then I can modify it throughout the week to add some variety, but not feel like I'm overwhelmed, keeping things simple. Now, we'll be digging into more tips like this and sharing more tips. And I have 2 more to go in our upcoming workshop, Using Food to Fuel Your Goals, Healthy Habits for High Achievers. And the purpose of putting on these workshops is to help you take action, right? The more you're in my space, the more inspiration you get, the more action you can take. So if you really want to, level up your plant-based eating in 2023 and you haven't registered, you can comment workshop in the chat, but you can also follow this link, which I'm going to drop in the comments right now. It'll also be in the description of the video to register for this workshop and save your seat. And we'll be starting that on January 9th. Now on to tip number 6. So tip number 6 is to ask for help. Now, I don't know about you, but I was never one to ask for help. I didn't want anybody to know that I needed help. You don't have to eat plant-based alone. You don't have to make this transition alone. There are people like me who've been where you are. So if you're standing on the edge of plant-based eating, waffling, not sure if you're ready to jump in, wondering if it's for you, wondering if this way of eating will work to solve your problems, to help heal your symptoms, to help you gain energy, to help you gain health, to reduce bloating, to reduce inflammation, to help you with weight management. You don't have to do this alone. You have me as a resource. I'm here. I've dedicated my life to helping others achieve a plant-based way of living because I believe in the power of this change. So I'm here for the support, the recipes, and to help you make plant-based eating accessible. So if you have questions, message me. If you have questions that you want me to answer in upcoming live shows, drop them into the comments. Stay connected with me so that you have a resource as you're running this pathway. Lucky tip number 7, and our final tip for today. And likely this is the most important of the 7 tips, but honestly, to accelerate plant-based eating, you're going to want to go back and you're going to want to make sure that you're doing all 7 of these tips. But tip number 7 is important, and it's really sticks out as something that I see happening with a lot of people. Know who you're listening to and follow them. There are thousands of people touting plant-based information, different plans, dietary approaches, tracking mechanisms. And one of the things that I learned early on is that a lot of them didn't start in the same place as you and I did. They may not have been overcoming an illness. They may not have been trying to reverse symptoms that lead to illnesses like I was. They may not have been suffering from lack of energy or inflammation or pain or any of the things that I was suffering from or that you're suffering from. Maybe they didn't need to optimize their health in terms of weight management. Many are often sharing from theory because they didn't live this lifestyle. They didn't walk this pathway. So when you're looking at who you want to listen to, look for the people who've been where you are and are now where you want to be. They have what you want, and follow them. Look at what they're doing. Look at what's working for them and see if there's a way that you can make that work for you. Can you adopt those habits? Can you adopt that mindset? Can you adopt their philosophy and move forward? You see, there's so much information out there that it often feels like you're drinking out of a fire hydrant, right? Oh, information overwhelm is literally the biggest problem that we have because there's plenty of information, plenty of books, plenty of documentaries, plenty of cookbooks. But when you dig down deep to the people supporting you in your goals, have they been where you are? Have they been there recently? Do they know the trials and tribulations in this current environment? So do any of these tips resonate with you? I see a lot of people, Stuart, Christy, Linda, you're live. Do any of these tips resonate with you? Have you been waffling? Have you been overcomplicating this way of eating? Have you not made a decision? Have you been listening to all the people and finding it overwhelming and confusing? Let's start 2023 with a simple plan, an easy, practical application. Let's go from overcomplication to obtainable, and let's make plant-based eating your way of life in 2023. So I hope this helps. And if you have one takeaway to accelerate your plant-based lifestyle as we move into the new year and as we move into 2023, I hope that you take away the simplicity. I hope that you take away keeping it simple and that you take away making the decision to make this a way of life. If you love this training and you want to further accelerate your plant-based eating in 2023, I do invite you to join me in our new improved workshop starting January 9th. It will be live at noon Eastern. You'll be able to get in the Zoom room. You'll be able to be right here with me interacting, and there will be replays. For those of you who always ask, there will be replays this time. You'll have access to the replays for a limited time as long as you are registered. And there are bonuses for anyone registered by December 31st. We have a meal plan. We have a kickoff party. We have loads of bonuses for you if you registered before December 31st. So make sure you click on the link below in either the comments or in the description. And don't hesitate to invite friends or family, right? If you've been connecting with people and you've heard them say, oh, I just need to eat healthier in 2023, invite them along, bring them along for this journey. This is not a Go Vegan workshop. We are not going to be talking about going vegan. We're going to be talking about creating healthy plant-centered habits to achieve your health and wellness in 2023. So I invite you to join us and have fun. And I hope you all have an amazing and happy new year. We will be back next Tuesday with another live show at noon Eastern, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day. Bye.